chosen one, the people that I believe must have a lot to do with the greatness of this country, or the keepers, the housekeepers, the keepers of great America. One day I woke up in the morning and I was not feeling well. My body and my spirit was weak. I went downstairs and wanted to sit on my home office to see if I could read or write. But I could not. Something pushed me back up. I went back to lie down in the couch to see if it would be comfortable. Then the same thing pushed me up because I couldn't sit down. I went back to my bedroom and I wanted to lie down. I couldn't lay down because it pushed me back up. And I wanted to stand, but I couldn't stand because it was impossible. I was dumbfounded that every attempt to sit, to lay down, to stand still was impossible. I was dumbfounded because I did not understand what was happening to me. And then I felt a supernatural force that moved me around, and I kept moving, walking like a walk. From my home office, I walked around to my kitchen, going through my island kitchen. I walked around through my living room, through the family room, and I kept walking around just like this in a circle. So I walked for 3 days. I did not sleep. I did not sit. I couldn't stay still. And then, why in this period of 3 days of non-stop of walking around, by then I never thought about Jonah and what happened to Jonah. I was more in a thought, trying to find out why, trying to question God to say, why do you want me to send this message to them? And I was more concerned about my safety and about my well-being. Then I forgot about the purpose for which God wants me to deliver the message, the purpose of which has a lot to do with this country and the American people. And then I had a voice say to me, when the voice came and he says to me, why have you refused to deliver the message to my people? I brushed it off in response, saying, I am not able to deliver this message because it's too much for me to handle. And this was around 3:30 p.m. On that fateful day, during the autumn of the year 2000, the year of the Lord 2013, and in fact it was September 30th when it happened. As I made one of those circular moves, and at that time when I heard the voice, then I knew that I was in the presence of the Lord, and that the Lord himself has come to deal with me for being disobedient. And then I heard the voice of the angel say to me, for 3 days you have refused to obey the command the Lord has given you, for fear of dying in the hands of men. So do you prefer to die by the source of men or by the source of the angel? Then it was like a lightning went out of my eyes, just like we read in the book of Numbers in 22 with Balaam. Then I realized that my days has come, the day of reckoning, to pay for refusing to obey, to deliver the message the Lord has given to me. And I was so frightened that I grabbed the door of the basement, which is at the point where the voice came to me, and ran down steps, jumping steps, to go get the letterhead where I put them stationery so that I can send the message which has been sitting on my computer. Typed it up for a while, but I couldn't be able to send it. I found I didn't even know what to do with it because I couldn't understand or see myself delivering the message to these kind of men, these great men, these great leaders of this world, both in the church and also in the civic government. But I realized that as I make each step down the basement, the sickness and the spirit, what I felt in my body, which was like my head was swelling, like I felt I was carrying the house, like my chest was pumping out from my body, like I could not breathe, like my heart is enlarged, and I felt like I was bigger than myself because I felt everything too big. And when I felt my heart was still beating, and I could see that it still is not trying to jump out, and I felt like the house was moving as I moved in this direction, the house was moving in the other direction. And all this feeling that I was feeling, each one of them started to reduce just because I heard the voice of the angel and the voice of the Lord and ran down the stairs. And quickly I came back up and sat. For the first time I was able to see. In fact, I did not realize that I was sitting down because I was busy to start my computer and write up a cover letter to say, well, this is the message I received and this is for you. And that's all I did. And I did not stop. Each step was relieving to me until I ran to the post office to deliver the message. And when I got to the post office to deliver the message, I realized that I didn't have enough money. And every money I had is not enough to mail the certified mail to all 12 people, because I decided to get a certified mail because I want to be able to say, God, here is it, I did it. I didn't just throw it in the mail. Okay. So, but the question that bugged me was that the moment that the post office received the mail, I went to my car, got all the change to make sure that the money was complete to mail it, which was every money that I have in the whole world. And immediately the post office received the mail from my hand, I became well again. All the heavy-headed days that I could not turn my head or my neck, and every of the things that I feel spinning around, and every feeling of discomfort that is in my body, and every pain that I felt, everything disappeared. So I said this little story in the beginning for you not to judge my message, for you to know that I am not here to judge America, and I am not here to judge the Americans, and I am not here to judge anybody. I am here to deliver a message of goodwill, deliver a message of love, a message of hope, an instruction from the Lord, which if you like, you receive. If you not, for God has given you free will.